Hey everyone, welcome to day 2. We're focusing on a topic that is 100% crucial in living out your very best year. But it's a topic that some people haven't really been exposed to in the way that they need to be in order to really thrive in their lives. And that concept is mindset, it's belief. And it is the foundation upon which you build a successful and fulfilling life. So for me, this has been the catalyst for all the change I've experienced in the last 5 years. I went from living a mediocre, subpar, kind of base level life to really living out my dreams, living out my passions, pursuing my purpose, and getting to hopefully inspire other people to do the same thing. But it didn't just come from action. We're going to get there. We're going to do the goal setting. We're going to talk about the necessary action steps that it takes to get to where you want to go in life. But none of it means anything without the right mindset. For me, I used to think it was only about what I did, or getting my foot in the door, or maybe my education, or having a lucky break, or getting that perfect right job, or maybe it was about who I knew, or enough time passing that eventually my goals would happen, or my dreams would come true. And then I started to think, especially with the start of each new year, that it was about setting the right goals, or having these awesome resolutions. But I quickly learned, since starting my own business and kind of diving into researching mindset and belief, that what you believe to be true is. If you, at your core, you can't just say, I want this, because you might want something, but do you actually believe it's going to happen? There's a big difference. And if there's any hesitation or doubt in pursuing those dreams or living out your God-given gifts, it might be stemming from the fact that consciously or subconsciously, you don't actually believe it's going to happen. Now, I also want to preface all of this by saying, when I was first exposed to this concept of personal development and mastering your mindset, I was super skeptical, hesitant about it. It's really not my style. It sounded a little too like pie in the sky to me. I was more of a, if you want to, just do the work and it'll get done eventually. And I didn't really understand the value that my own mind had in living out my dreams and my purpose. And I spent most of my life wanting certain things, maybe even dreaming about certain things, but at my core, I didn't actually truly believe that they would happen. Sure, I wanted to be a public speaker, even though I had all these fears about public speaking. So at my core, I was like, but that probably won't happen. Or I wanted to pay off all my debt and make an incredible living, but I was like, I hope it happens. There was this missing element, this key missing element for me to find true success in my life in all of the areas that I was really craving it. And it had everything to do with what was going on up here. So for day 1, we did our self-assessment. We kind of went through and looked at the different areas of our life, the different categories, and we graded ourselves. We put ourselves, we were looking at ourselves with an objective view and saying which area needs work. So you might have desires now to improve those certain areas. But in order to see the change, because that's what we're here for actual change. This isn't just like a rah-rah, pump you up, hope we have the best year ever. This is, what can we physically be doing? What can we mentally be doing, emotionally be doing to ensure that our goals are met, that our dreams are coming true? And this is where we need to start. So I get it if it sounds weird, if you're like, I don't need self-help books, I'm not interested in you trying to be my therapist. Listen, I'm not either. I'm here to share with you what has worked for me and so many other people. And the biggest differentiator I've seen in people who are successful And when I say successful, I don't necessarily mean financially, wealthy. I mean their definition of successful. Are they happy? Are they fulfilled? Are they living their purpose? Are they, comfortable financially? Or are they living abundantly? What are the things that separated those people from the people who aren't? And it's what they believe. So it's also what's allowed me to shift from being 55 pounds overweight to fit and full of energy. I had been going to the gym, I had been taking the action steps, doing the work, but I wasn't seeing the results. What was it that was holding me back? Well, it was my belief in myself. And that triggered a new set of actions, which triggered the change. It took me from being in debt, working in a job that was sucking my soul dry, to building a 7-figure business, doing something I absolutely love, something that I believe in, something that is allowing me to leave my imprint on the world. It's what helped me move from continually being in relationships and investing time into mediocre relationships to being married to the man of my dreams that I fall deeper in love with every single day. It's what shifted my way of living from an anxious dreamer to a confident doer. And it all started with where my head was at. So that's great. Thanks, Liz. Now what do I do with it? Like, where do I start? What are the tools that I need to be successful in this area? How do I start improving those areas of my life that I assessed at low numbers? And some people think it's starting with the goal or the resolution. But if you've set a new resolution this year, which I think a lot of us have, and if you've set resolutions in the past only to be disappointed, it comes down to 2 possible reasons that those goals or those resolutions aren't happening. Either you don't truly believe that they will happen, you're hoping they happen, but you don't believe they will happen, or your actions are falling short. You can't just wish for something and not work towards it. But the belief that you have will drive your actions, and that's where the change will come into play. So we are letting go for this next week of our limiting self-beliefs. We all have our thing, right? We all have our anxieties and our doubts in ourselves and our fears about making changes in our lives. I get that. I still have them. But the goal of this group this week is to let those go so that we can make that initial shift and start working towards living our best year in every possible way. So I want to start by challenging you to think of what it is that's really holding you back from achieving the things you want, from upping your ratings in those different categories of your life in your self-assessment, and let those go. Instead, we're going to start implementing new tools and new ways for you to see the change that you want to see. So like I said, there are some different things that you can do, physically do, because I know you want action steps to start to see a difference. The first one is personal development. And whatever stigma you might have about it, let that go too. You gotta try it with me. I started reading about 5 years ago, books that really nurture my mind, help me become a better leader, help me grow into the person I was born to be instead of putting that person, giving that person a back seat. So I'm going to share with you in the resource document that you can download books that have been life-changing for me in my mindset, podcasts that I listen to regularly that have totally changed my way of thinking. Different courses, if you're looking to try different courses, or different things I've done that have made a huge difference. So as far as books go, or podcasts, or whatever it is, whatever tool of personal development you want to use, here's my recommendation. Don't let a single day go by, starting with this week, that you don't give yourself the time to do that personal development for at least 30 minutes a day. Now that sounds like a lot to the busy working parent or someone just trying to keep their head above water. But here's the thing, if you shower, if you drive anywhere or commute, and if you cook, if you clean, if you do any of those things in your life, if you get dressed, if you put makeup on, if you do your hair, if you brush your teeth, you can do personal development. You might not have time to park it on the couch and kick your feet up and read a good book, but I get my books on Audible. So anytime I'm showering, I'm either listening to a book or a podcast. If I'm doing my hair or my makeup, I'm listening to a book or podcast if I'm driving in the car. And it's totally changed who I am becoming, who I am meant to be, all because I'm using these resources. So Audible is a great tool. That's where I buy my books instead of buying the concrete book. And podcasts. And in the resource document, I share a lot of both books, podcasts for personal growth, for leadership, for health, all the different areas of our lives that we're going to talk about this week. You can start checking those out. And if you have questions specific to which ones you should start with and maybe what you're personally struggling with or what your challenges are, comment below and I will answer and tell you which ones I think are best for you. Another thing you're going to see in that resource document is different apps that I'm using for things like meditation. I don't have a very calm mind. I am ADD. I am really restless in my thinking. So I've decided to take on the challenge of something that I thought I never could do and meditate 10 minutes a day. That's all I'm doing. And I shared with you the apps that I use to do that. They're just guided meditation. I turn it on and I follow what this guy tells me to do for 10 minutes. And it's really helping me to learn how to work with my mind and put my mind in the right space. I've also started utilizing trainings. Some are online, courses in confidence or things like financials. You know, if you're struggling financially, there are courses that can walk you through building wealth, even if you don't change your career path. Or things like in-person seminars that you can attend to be more confident or become a better leader or a better business owner if that's what you do. Take advantage of resources like this. Sometimes they're free, sometimes it takes a little investment, but one thing that has never come to me wasting money is investing in myself. Every single time. Even I hired a life coach last year for 10 grand, and it was one of the best things I ever did for myself. It's paid for itself tenfold. I'm not telling you to go spend 10 grand. Some of the stuff that I share in the resource document is totally free. But my comment or my purpose in sharing that with you is when you truly invest in yourself, that means you believe in you. You believe in where you're going in your life. You believe in the goals you're setting, the resolutions you're setting, the actions you're taking, and what you're working towards. Maybe it's faith. Maybe you rated really low in faith, but you know that's an important piece of your life. Attend a retreat. Do something with your church. Do something to volunteer or give back that reconnects you to that faith. And I shared with you all my favorites, and I have many more. So please comment below and share maybe what areas you want to improve. And if you have questions about where you should start or what these seminars are like, or what these online courses are like. I shared some different podcasts, totally free. Podcasts are amazing. You know, if you're struggling with your finances, there's the Dave Ramsey Show. If you want to learn more about holistic living and health, the Model Health Show is awesome, and I listed a few others. Leadership, maybe as a parent or a spouse or in your business, I shared some there too. And then the books that I love that are totally changing my life. But please humor me. Just this 1 week. That's all I'm asking. This week, give me your time, your attention, your participation, and just start putting these simple actions into play and see the change it starts to make in your life. Print out the resource document, comment below, and get excited because this is just one of many awesome action steps that we're going to take over these next 7 days that absolutely will change your life if you decide to implement it and help you live your very best year.